Hello, I'm the official narrator. My job is to look through the first page of Google, review the nicknames provided by the internet, and then give my recommendations at the end. Today we're looking over Smeargle and just Smeargle, and my prediction for this episode is to see as many fucking painter names and history as possible. It's probably going to be Da Vinci, Picasso, and any other obnoxious bullshit like that. Van Gogh, there's another one. That's my prediction. It's just going to be that today. Probably. How could I forget the great Bob Ross? What's wrong with me? Okay, so I firstly want to focus on Etch-a-Sketch because I actually really like that idea. I think that's cute, and I think that's different and already better than naming it Bob Ross, Van Gogh, Picasso, or anything like that, Da Vinci, because that stuff is just incredibly predictable while Etch-a-Sketch is not. So I really like that one, but I also kind of want to highlight the one up above it, which is Drug Dealer. Not that that's a good nickname, but I like the idea that this guy conceptually built a nickname around the moveset Smeargle has, and that's a very easy thing to do considering Smeargle's moveset is infinite. So you could go ahead and build your thing after like any sort of moveset you want, and then it can reflect it in that way, and I think that's a cool idea. So I want to go ahead and highlight this one just because honestly I think the idea of dogs playing poker is hilarious, and I love that illustration. But the problem is I never knew who did it, and when I see Coolidge and then CM Coolidge, I'm like, oh, I doubt it's Calvin Coolidge, the 30th president that I'm going to remember the name of, but I doubt most people do. Yeah, that's just an unfortunate thing for this artist. His name is something else, Coolidge, but C. Coolidge is taken. MS Paint, I'm okay with that. Again, I'm not going to say that's good, but I'm going to say it's less cliche than Van Gogh. Van Gogh. So it's a small step above, but it's still kind of boring. Jackson Pollock, there's another famous painter guy for you. Mona Lisa, more painting jokes. Now I saw Smeargle from basically opening up the spreadsheet, and just my eyes glanced at it. I don't really care about that at all. And I understand where the mindset is because, hey, look, it sounds similar. Fine, whatever, that's cool. I just have zero interest in it, but if you do, there you go. I'm okay with Crayola. That one's fine as well. Monet, another painter. Salvador Dali, another famous painter. Brushwork doesn't sound too bad. I don't hate it, but I don't like it either. Like, compared to most of the stuff we've seen, it's like, yeah, that could be worse, but like, I wouldn't use it. Brush Ogon is fucking dumb. We've already seen first we addressed it at the beginning of the episode. Hey, we're gonna be seeing this a million times, and here it is again. Artista, that's also dumb. Splish Splash, I don't even know what the fuck that has to do with anything. Named after an art brush. It's named after what the fuck Magikarp does. Splatoon, I don't necessarily hate the comparison. I don't think that's bad, but I do think it's a bit of a stretch, because if you say Splatoon, the first thing anyone's going to think of is the inkling creatures, the squids, and something resembling that. So to put it onto Smeargle could work, but I feel like most people, if they wanted to use the Splatoon name, they're probably going to put it on literally anything that isn't Smeargle first. You know what? Adeline is at least an artist I can kind of get behind, because that's at least something probably very few people have done. That's the artist kid from Kirby. Positive Kirby 64, and I think also Dreamland 3? Yeah, I'm totally fine. I don't remember the name of the paint enemies inside of Kirby, because there was a boss inside of Triple Deluxe whose name I don't remember, and then they gave it a proper Kirby ability. I think it was in Star Allies? So if those names from Kirby, put in the comments below so I know them, thank you. If those names don't sound completely fucking retarded, go for it. But if it's something like Artista, don't do it. Andy Warhol, there's another artist there you can go ahead and do. I mean, at least the positive side about there being so many artists is, unless you pick Da Vinci and Van Gogh, you're probably not going to run into someone using the exact same thing, or not nearly as many people. Norman Rockwell, there's another one for you. Like, it's the first time we're seeing Warhol and Rockwell, so the amount of people using those are at least less than Picasso and Da Vinci and Van Gogh. Okay, so we've reached the bottom. I have to talk shit about this guy because this is the most I'm a fucking idiot, please click on my video, I swear I'm not a desperate loser and begging for attention title I've ever seen in my life. Like, I hate the whole all caps this, look at me, I'm a fucking retard desperation going on in this video. If you see this, I'm not sorry. Anyway, we've clicked on everything, we've looked over stuff. We've seen a fair bit, mostly just famous artists and stuff, and that's fine. We're gonna check the spreadsheet for any other ideas. Yeah, see, there's Smeargle. Don't really care. And that's it outside of, like, you know, the Ninja Turtles. Sure. I mean, yeah, the Ninja Turtles were named after artists. That's totally fine, too. I'm also not sure why he went with, Ilima, because that's from Alola. Like, I don't really associate him with Smeargle. But I also just associate him with hatred, so it doesn't matter. So, just stating though, those nicknames based off of famous artists, they aren't necessarily bad. They're fine. You could use them and they will work. The thing is, I just feel like it's super mega cliche, so I personally would not use them. The ones that I found that I liked, in particular, mostly were Crayola and Etch-a-Sketch. I thought those two were bit more creative. I like Etch-a-Sketch the most. And in a previous episode, I saw somebody mention palette, and I wrote that down. Because like, oh yeah, get it? Like a paint palette. Wow, that's a little bit more creative. And I don't think I've said, I think I might have said this before. If you name, because we've had like Pokemon named after their signature trainers, like let's say Raichu and you want to name it after Surge, like that's fine. Alternatively, you could also name it after the city, so let's say Misty Starmie could be Cerulean or something like that. That's also an idea. I mean, Smeargle's got fuck all to do with Pallet Town, but just the thought was there. I don't personally have a choice. I don't know where this came from, but for whatever reason, me and my brother always had this in-joke with Smeargle that it was actually a psychotic killer. And it would use its tail to wrap around your throat and then strangle the life from you, or if it felt like it, it would take its tail and try to jam it down your throat and then, like, you know, just make you fucking choke and die. So as a result, that became a joke character we had called the Killer Smeargle. And, you know, like the whole cutthroat thing you do with your hand, like the Undertaker, that's what Smeargle would do with his tail, and he'd be very pissed off. So it was always that joke that we had. That's the closest to a personal choice that we've had, but I've never really used that nickname. It was just always an in-joke, and in previous episodes, like for Hoppip, that was another in-joke we had too that I didn't mention, but I meant to and I forgot, but that's it. I like Etch-a-Sketch best, and if you have any other ideas and suggestions, put them in the comments below. Give a thumbs up to the ones that you think are good. Smeargle's actually a really cool Pokemon. Its stats are kind of trash, but it's fun to try and find a way to make him work. And I'm fascinated with Smeargle because it's endless potential. So, talk Smeargle stuff, nicknames, and just whatever you have to contribute. It's what it's there for.